Yo, what I've been doing is I've been messing around with some of the Eventide plugins with the algorithms from the H9. So the guitar sound starts with Black Angus from ToneX, the default preset, presence boosted, a little bit of bass removed, probably not quite that much actually. It's just one guitar at a minute, so the EQ is subject to change. It's a capture of a Marshall JCM 800 into a 1960 BV cab. So nothing fancy going on here. The cab's obviously disabled because of the ToneX cab that's on in that. But I have got the Fender compressor at the end of the chain on the high setting, which to be honest I don't need it there, it could go on the mono line. Save some CPU in theory, just process it in mono. But it is just an educated guess because I obviously don't know how the Fender compressor works on the inside. So let's just hear the raw guitar tone. So that's just the really basic guitar tone on its own. But now let's move over to some post effects that make up the rest of the sound. So first to look at is Undulator from Eventide H9. Using just the Cascade Piano preset. I don't think I've changed anything. Well, I might have changed the mix or something like that. Then we've got Micro Pitch, just doing a nice chorus. Again, I might have changed the mix on that. I can't remember. I've just been flicking through and testing things, you know. Next up, it's just the Arturia Lexicon style reverb, LX24, small hall. And if you ever see this kind of thing in my projects, this red line here, it's just a JS plugin called that, which is then unloaded entirely. It's just an empty JS plugin that acts as a separator for my benefit, so that I know that anything that comes after it actually goes on the bus tracks. In my workflow, they sort of class as mixer effects, but I put them on the track itself and then move them over later on. And neither of them are on the highest quality settings when they're on that track. Well, it all depends how much I've got going on the input track. And if it's required, but on this, 2 times oversampling. But when it's over here on this track, it'll have 8 times oversampling on it. Anyway, now let's have a listen to the guitar sound as I add it at one point before recording, before I added Octavox into the chain. So it's quite nice, but then I was thinking, well, hang on, let's try and get some Eventide harmonization going off with Octavox. Oh yeah, as well, when I first recorded the guitar part, I only had 3 voices active, but then as it progresses through it, I introduce more voices. So to show you, if I just scroll up, try and get this out of the way, there you are, you can see that I enable them and I fade them in. And then, to complete the sound, we have just a bit of the highs taken down at 14 kHz, bit of the bass dropped again. Then we have the high pass filter on, or low cut if you prefer. Bit of drive on the output, but then I'm pulling it down, because the output fader introduces saturation. I got the compressor on smash mode, and then turned it down. It's interesting, I just tried it. I didn't expect it to actually work for this, but it does. And then plexitape is barely doing anything, so I'm not really going to mention it. It's mostly ducked out of the way, just fades in here and there. So what I've done is I've rendered the track out and turned the effects off and moved over the post effects to the rendered stem. And this trail track it's just the reverb trail from the end there, moved over to the beginning. So when I'm looping, I can hear the reverb trail, because obviously it's been rendered and the effects are turned off. So yeah, it's just there for my benefit. So I've got it so that the guitar goes through the Lindell 69 channel strip and then into plexitape, and then it just goes through the TiAC A6100 Mark II, which is from IK Multimedia and the T-Rex plugin suite. So let's have a listen to what it sounds like all together. So yeah, there we have it. And the Eventide plugins are just sick. That's all I can say. Fucking sick, mate. Anyway, thank you for watching.